Hey guys, it's Marissa. I've got a really cute project for you today. And only a tiniest little bit of housekeeping. So let me slide over here. If you've already ordered the kitchen table stamper, ghoulish goodies, Halloween Stamp-A-Stack, yesterday or the day before, anybody who ordered, no, 2 days ago or the day before, your kits are already postal, but we are completely sold out. So I'm going to do a few more kits today because I have videos, the last 2 videos coming for this, Monday and Tuesday. So I have a feeling they'll sell out a second time. The kits that I'm going to make are already in Kitchen Table Stamper Store. So if you'd like a kit for the ghoulish goodies Stamp-A-Stack, you'll want to get that before they sell out for the second time because we're cutting a second batch right now. This is card number 1 that's already on the blog. Card number 2 on the blog. This is Monday's blog post, card number 3. And Tuesday's blog post is card number 4. So by the time these cards hit the blog, I'm sure they'll already be sold out. So that's it. If you want a kit, they'll be in the Kitchen Table Stamper Store, kitchentablestamper.com/shop. You can pick those up. And then the class is half done. It's blog posts, consecutive blog posts, and the class is completely free. So if you want to take the class and cut your own materials, you can do that just by following along on the blog. If you want the easy button and you want a kit, get those while supplies last. So that's our housekeeping. Camp Juana stamp. If you're waiting for Camp Juana stamp, those should be shipping Wednesday. And look out in your email early next week for all kinds of details, okay? So this is our bakery box template. The project sheet should go today on the blog with the video. And then Saturday, I should have the card for those of you who played along with the mystery card yesterday. So that's kind of what we're looking for. All right, so let's get started with our box. The total size for this box is 8.5 by 9. And we've got Bumblebee. So let's get that in our Simply Scored and do some work here. I'm gonna start on the 8.5 inch side. And I like to do the 8.5 inch side on both sides. So we'll go 3/4 and 2.5. And then on the other 8.5 inch side, we're gonna do 3/4 and 2.5. What that does is that ensures that this tab is 3/4 and this side of the box is 1 3/4 from a plumb line. You could go off and do 6 and 7 3/4, but if your paper is not exactly 8.5, if it's a little long or a little short, then your box gets a little tippy. Do you understand? All right, then we're gonna rotate it on the 9 inch side and we're gonna score at 1 3/4. 4 1/4, 6, and 8.5. So almost a big square. Let's work these lines with our bone folder and not drop the Simply Score tool. All right, we've got our Bumblebee base. And work all the score lines, then we're going to cut it away. I always put a picture of the template in the project sheet because sometimes it's easier to cut away when you can see from what's missing. So let's go ahead and cut off. Tab is at the top. This is our little tuck tab at the top. So we're going to start that way. And from one side, we're going to cut off the rectangle here. And I cut off the score lines and then a little angle. Then we're going to do an angle cut. So we've got kind of our inside tab. Now I'm going to go all the way to the top of the box where we've got our tuck tab here. I'm going to cut down past one score line. We're going to go to the intersecting straight line, cutting off the score line. Then we can cut straight down. See that? And we're getting rid of these 4 little rectangles. And then this one. Then we're gonna take these tabs apart. And I like to cut a little angle there when I take those out. So I'll go straight on the outside of the box, because this is the side of the box, and then a little angle on the tab. So there's one side of our box. Now we're gonna rinse and repeat. So, all right, that is our Bumblebee bakery box. I'm going to round the tuck tab here. Just gonna use a little corner rounder. You can use the detailed trio punch or your corner rounder. And we need tear and tape. So this is the inside of our box. You want to turn over to the outside, and then using your tear and tape, or you can use your Seal Plus here, you're going to make little equal signs on each of these 4 tabs. It's such an easy little box. Really cute. It holds quite a bit. I've got 2 of those little cakes inside this box. It's 1 3/4 deep. It's 2 wide, or it's 3.5 wide and 2.5 long. No, 3.5 long and 2.5 wide. Good? 2.5 by 3.5 by 1 3/4. All right, now we're gonna remove all these dudes and fold up our box. Oh, before we fold up our box, if you want a little thumb notch, it makes it so much easier to open. I'm gonna use a little 1/2 inch circle punch. I know we don't have one anymore. Hopefully you can find a way here. But I'm going to see if I've got something to mark with. I am terrible at eyeballing center. So there's a centering ruler on the grid paper. You can use that. Since I've already done one, I'm just gonna line up on the front and make a little mark. It's the only hope for me. Anybody else really terrible at eyeballing center? Or is that just me? All right, so we're gonna punch a little 1/2 circle. And then we want to bring up the sides. So we're gonna bring in our front first, make a nice corner. Same on the other side, front, make a nice clean corner. And then from the back, you're gonna tuck those in and again, make a nice square corner. There's our little bakery box. Isn't that a cutie? There, that's the hard part. Now we get to do the fun part. I've got a couple of little bits here. I did my punching and die cutting ahead of time, so let me just show you what I used. The Magenta Madness scallop circle is the 2 1/4 inch scallop. It's like right in the middle. It's the 4th one, and it's from the Layering Circles dies. The 2 1/4 scallop is lovely with the 2-inch punch. You get a little bit bigger border around your circle. So I punched a Whisper White circle. Designer Series paper. This is both from the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. This one is 2 1/8 or 2 3/8 by 3 3/8. The messages or the measurements are going to be on the project sheet, so I'm sorry I'm fumbling. I'm so bad today. 3 3/8 by 2 3/8 and 1 inch by 3 3/8. I've got a 1 inch or 1/2 inch strip of Whisper White here, and this is probably about 4.5 inches. It's longer than what we need. And I got a scrap of Whisper White to stamp 2 bananas. Let's go ahead and stamp our second little banana. We're gonna do that with Soft Suede and Bumblebee. I love the Bumblebee ink pad. All right, so I've already done one of my little bananas and cut it out. The cute fruit does not have dies because you have to do this little 2-step stamping, like you do the pineapple and you add the crown, or you do the citrus and you add the rind, or the watermelon, you add the rind. So every time you stamp, it's going to be just a little bit different. So to make a die set for that wouldn't be practical, because you can't, every time you stamp, it's just a little bit different. If it's a little bit, the angle's a little bit different or whatever. So we have to fussy cut. I just stamp my banana, and let's also stamp our greeting. The greeting is from Cute Fruit. I couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. We're gonna stamp that one in the center of our Whisper White strip. I'm using the Soft Sweet again. I thought it was kind of a nice neutral. We need a little bit more room on the left side because of the bow. So a little right of center is good. Couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. Love. Strength. Let me get rid of the Stampin' Pierce mat. I will cut out a banana. I've got a little banana. They are pretty easy to fussy cut. Little tiny white border. And just steer the paper into the scissors. That's the best tip I can give you for fussy cutting, is let your non-dominant hand drive. Your dominant hand just opens and closes the scissors. It might cooperate a little bit, but it's a co-pilot, not the pilot. And there's our bananas. All right, couldn't ask for anything sweeter. I'm gonna do some little chicken lips. Get a dovetail on each side of that one. A little bit longer on the right side so you have room for the bow. All right, there's our sweeter friend. All we have is a little assembly and embellishment. Let me get some liquid glue here. Got my 2-inch circle. Glue that one to Magenta Madness. I'm really loving this Bumblebee Magenta Madness combination. I wanted yellow, but I didn't want yellow and brown. Thought it would look too masculine, maybe too rustic. So Magenta Madness was the winner. I left just the tiniest little bumblebee border there at the bottom. And we'll get the front on the box. It'll give you a little 1/16 inch border all the way around. And then we can put our Magenta Madness circle a little high of center. Scallop. A little off center there. Here we go. Eyeball in center again. Let's close that up and make sure. Not too bad. Couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. Everything is flat except for our top banana, so we're just gluing along here. And our bottom banana. Little banana. And I need some dimensionals. This is absolutely my favorite stamp set this year. I really love it. We're featuring it in Camp Wanna Stamp. We did it in Bingo. I know a lot of you guys have this set. You've made the investment. So I hope that this inspires you to pull it out. Make something cute. These little boxes are fun. Fill it up with watermelon candy and put a watermelon on the front. It's just really a fun little stamp set. All right, we need a couple of embellishments here to finish it off, don't you think? You're gonna be surprised at this one. This is the Woven Threads sequin assortment. And when you look at that, you might not think instantly that this is the right embellishment for the color palette we've got going on here, but the Rococo Rose sequins really look great with Magenta Madness. So there's a fun little tip for you. And I've got my Magenta Madness woven ribbon. This stuff is gorgeous, and it's a good price. I'm very pleased with the price point on this one. Ties, awesome. Looks great with the end colors. It's a good ribbon. Give that a little bitty bow. It had to be pretty bitty. I kind of kept making it smaller and smaller. Let's get a little glue dot on there. Pop it right on the box. So good. Don't cover your sentiment. Let me trim that away from the spool. Trim off the tail. That's a long tail for me. Can you believe I'm throwing away that much ribbon? Yikes! I don't usually do that. All right, my little sequins. I picked them out ahead of time so you didn't have to watch me pick them out of the assortment. I need a take your pick tool and some sequins and some multi-purpose liquid glue. All right, so what I like to do when I'm doing sequins is I like to put the glue on the box and then bring the sequin to it. So I'll work in batches of 2 or 3 at a time. Then I just pick up and leave it right in the glue. There it is, we did it. Ha-ha! What do you think? If you guys have questions about the project or the craft social, if there's anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop 24/7, marisaAlvarez.stampinup.net. That's the place. See you guys later. Thank you. Bye.